I'm joined by Van Riker, engagement lead with Microsoft. Super excited for this conversation, Van. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, you have an interesting story. You've been a marketer at Microsoft for about 10 years and recently became the engagement lead, which we're going to talk about today. You're the engagement lead for Microsoft's 10,000 member global employee network, Sustainable Connected Community, or SCC for short. So tell us, what's the purpose of this employee network and what's your role as the engagement lead?
So there's kind of three parts to the organization. So the first part is really to help amplify the message of what Microsoft is doing around climate. It's also to engage people in a forum where they can figure out how to do more through like hackathons and eco challenges and things like that during the year. And then the third thing is to help get the company take action. So some of the things that the organization has done in the past is get the company to compost, and then also to help build green software guidelines that use less energy.
Absolutely. And I know you've already enacted change within Microsoft. So can you give us an example of what this group has been able to change through, your internal activism, if you will?
So one of the things that we've been working on is the Escape the Chamber campaign. So we've been getting employees to sign a petition to leave the U.S. Chamber of Commerce because they have been misaligned with Microsoft, especially litigating against sustainable policies that Microsoft had supported. And as a result of what we've been doing, the company actually published a report last year which showed the misalignment with the chamber at a public level. And we think that's a big win because we really want to make Microsoft, if we are part of the chamber, be a more vocal member and try to push policy more in the way of sustainability.
That's great. Well, congrats on all that you've already been able to do through this.
Thank you.
What are some of the biggest challenges you've come across, like in mobilizing employees to go after this common goal or this campaign?
I think part of it is time zones, actually. So we're trying to work to try to make different things because we have members from all across the world. I also think, especially with a lot of kind of doom and gloom going on at the moment, that keeping people engaged, feeling like they can make a difference is important. So one of the things I started as the engagement lead is in our monthly calls, we have a 5-minute focus on one particular person from the company called Strength and Inspiration. And we're having people talk about their stories and what they're doing to make change and hopefully bring inspiration to other people. And sometimes those projects are, mature. Sometimes those projects are going to be things that they're looking for other resources. So last month we kicked it off. We had someone talk about a forestry project they're trying to do in Vietnam and when they were talking about it, we had someone from our EMEA chapter and we had someone from South America say, hey, I'm working on that too. Let's combine forces. So it gives people a sensibility that they can do things and connect people. And I think that's really important at this time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of people watching, obviously people in this green biz ecosystem are passionate change makers, but I'm sure people watching are thinking to themselves, how can I get more involved in my own organization? How can I enact change or lead an employee group? So what would be your advice to just kind of getting started?
So I think there's a few models out there. Anyone is feel free to reach out to me, Van Riker, on LinkedIn. I've actually know from some forums that we've had with other employee groups that we've gotten some other employee groups started up recently, and I've had people ask me for advice. But the main thing is you are an employee. You should be important. Your voice matters. And I think trying to figure out how to be respectful and learn how to use your voice in a productive way and make the company be responsible and think about the future is really important. And additionally, if we don't do these things and climate change keeps happening, we're going to have a long-term problem with our company's productivity, which is important to the whole business.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the work that you do and imparting advice. I hope people will take it and run and definitely reach out to Van. I know you're a very collaborative person, so
Thank
don't
you.
be shy there. You just heard from Van Riker, engagement lead at Microsoft. Thanks for joining us. There's more interviews to come.